Thanks for joining me this week on the podcast. I've been getting a lot of questions lately, and this is something that's come up multiple times, but about what it's like to work with a professional organizer. And, people usually ask me in terms of, well, what's it like if I were to have you come to my home and help me get organized? And so I thought it was about time we addressed this here on the podcast so you can get your questions answered. And what I would love so much is for you to listen through to this and see if all your questions about working with a professional organizer are answered. And if they are, and you have some comments to share, come on over and let me know on Instagram. It's at declutter.360. If your question isn't answered, especially though, I want you to come on over there and let me know. You can drop me a DM. You can just leave a comment on a post. We'll have a place for that, but anywhere is fine. I want to make sure I get your questions answered. So if you have a further question, you can always let me know, and I would be more than happy to either address it here on the podcast, maybe with another episode, or you can always join me in my free Facebook community, the Declutter 360 community. That link is in the show notes. So be sure to come and check it out and join the conversation if you haven't already. So, what's the deal? What's it like to have a professional organizer come into your home? Now, I'm hoping maybe some of my clients, friends, family, people who I have worked with and helped in the past will maybe chime in a little bit and share as well over on Instagram or in the Facebook community. So you can hear a little bit from them really about what it was like to have me come into their home and help them get organized. Because I think hearing from all of you who is a really important part of the process too. Are you like me? Do you like to read reviews and things like that? Like that's kind of a way of getting a review and getting to hear a little bit about what it's like. But I want to share you, at least from my perspective, what it's like to have a professional organizer come into your home. What should you be expecting? And I want to kind of start that because another kind of spin off on this is, how do I know that it's a good time for me to bring in a professional organizer to help me? Like what should be some things I'm looking for that it's like, okay, maybe it's time to bring in a pro. Because here's the thing, I know so many folks have like, don't even think twice maybe about, do you have a cleaning lady? Someone who comes in and cleans for you regularly and helps you with that. That's, I think, a chore maybe that is a little bit more commonly sought out for to get help with. And I want to share with you that having an organizer come and help you is no different than having a cleaning lady. And I want you to kind of think about that for a second. This is just a different kind of cleaning, right? It's that clutter maintenance, that stuff management, that sometimes that's the piece that we need help with. And that can be, just kind of an eye-opening way to kind of compare those two things and think, oh, yeah, I don't think twice about myself or my friends or my sister or whoever having a cleaning lady come, once a month, twice a month, weekly, whatever it is that you might have someone come, having an organizer come in occasionally, regularly, whatever it is you need, you know yourself best. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but I want to share with you some common times or things that might come up for you that you may help you think, oh, maybe this would be a great time to bring in an organizer to help me. So the first is that, maybe you're looking around and you're just feeling overwhelmed by all this stuff. You're not sure where to start. You want to start, you need to start, but just the idea of trying to make sense of the clutter in your home or whatever your space that you're wanting to address may be, that feels overwhelming. Bringing a professional in who, maybe is less not even maybe, who is less attached to your stuff. Not that they're going to come in and get rid of all your stuff, but, kind of take some of that emotion out of it when you bring someone in from the outside to help you. So if you feel like that's your barrier, that you don't know where to start and the whole process just feels daunting and overwhelming, bringing in a professional organizer to help you really kick things off can potentially help build startup, kind of kickstart and build momentum for you to keep going. Okay, another instance is if you're looking around and you have a large project, a large organizing project undertaking that you need to get done and you need to get it done in a hurry. Maybe it's that your garage is so full of clutter and has kind of become more of a storage space. And you think, I want to be able to get my car in that garage before the first snow, here in a couple of months. I want to be able to put my car in the garage. And you're pressed for time. Bring in a professional organizer. I love working on garages, especially in the fall. Maybe not so much in the heat of the summer. It's been like 100 degrees here in Missouri all week, and wow, it is hot stuff out there. I am probably not interested in working in a garage under these conditions. Nobody wants to suffer from heat stroke, but fall is a fantastic time to work on your garage. Bring a professional organizer in. It doesn't have to be your garage. Any space where you feel like this is going to be a big task and I need to get it done in a hurry. Bring in a professional to help you. Professional organizer can absolutely help you make a massive dent. And there's even some organizers in your area who may have the ability to bring in a whole team of organizers. So if you have an exceptionally large job, or maybe you have multiple spaces in your home that you need decluttered and organized in a day or two, you could bring in a whole team of organizers potentially to help you and really make a massive difference in your space and in your life in a short amount of time. Another time when it might be great to bring in an organizer to help is, recognizing that we all go through different phases of life. And there are certain phases of life that are just more challenging for us as individuals. And that's going to look so different for everyone and in whatever circumstances you may be dealing with in your life. You may have previously been super on top of your organization, been really pleased with the lack of clutter in your space, but things have changed. Your life has changed. Whatever those circumstances may be for you have changed things. That's okay. Recognize that sometimes there are phases of life when we can lean into bringing in some help. Bringing in an organizer as a supportive help to help you get through those tough phases in life can be such a tremendous game changer. Another reason to bring in a professional organizer is this idea of knowing yourself, knowing your strengths. I have no doubt that you have some incredible strengths in your life that are areas that would perhaps be considered a weakness for me in my life. Okay. If I'm a professional organizer, I am an organizer because I am passionate about it. I love to do it and I love to help others in this way. If keeping an organized, tidy home is something that is important to you, but it's also something that you struggle with, why not lean into someone who has a passion, a dedication for doing that and loves and wants nothing more than to come and help you achieve your organizational and clutter-free lifestyle and goals for your home, your space, your life. Oh my gosh. Bringing in an organizer regularly then to help reset your space. And extra bonus is when you work with the same organizer over and over. Of course, they get to know you. They get to know your space and your needs and what works really well for you. And they can help you continue to set up systems that are supportive and help support you in those ways. And so having someone come and be able to do a regular reset of your home, chef's kiss. Like, it's really an incredible thing. So that's another reason to consider bringing in a professional organizer to help you. And Lastly, I think it's also a great opportunity to bring a professional organizer into your home when you want to get an outside opinion. You want to get some other ideas of, helpful suggestions, options, things that are going to help you maximize the functionality in your home. So if you feel like maybe you've tried lots of different things and you're struggling to find something that really works great for you, bringing in an organizer to help you see other possibilities. Because the beauty of bringing an organizer in is that we've worked with so many different people who come from different backgrounds, who are dealing with different challenges, who have different circumstances in their lives. And so we have the benefit of being familiar with what helps and works well with lots of different people and lots of different lifestyles. So we may be able to help you, with some tips and tricks and things that we have learned, little trades along the way that you may not have thought of before. And so just having that other outside professional opinion and suggestions can be incredibly helpful, can be a huge game changer. So that was kind of 5 areas or ideas of why you might want to partner with an organizer, bring them into your home, bring them into your life, and allow them to help you create and maintain that organized, clutter-free life that you're desiring. Okay, but then there's also the idea of, okay, so I'm on board with one of these reasons and I'm ready to bring a professional organizer into my home. So what should I expect when they come? These are some things that I am going to suggest that any really good organizer is going to bring to the table for you. And if you begin working with an organizer and you find that, maybe one of these things feels really important to you and you don't feel that connection, it's kind of like working with a therapist. If you don't feel that connection, you're not necessarily going to get the benefits out of it that you want to get. So know that it's okay to move on to a different organizer if you feel like you need to. But these are some things I think that you're going to get from a really high quality professional organizer and creating a partnership with them to help support the way of living that you're looking for. First of all, it should be someone who's bringing in a non-judgmental, compassionate attitude. Someone who is putting you and your family and your needs first. I have seen, instances where an organizer kind of has I don't want to say a one trick pony type of a thing, but kind of a my way or the highway, like this is how we do it. This is the best way to organize. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think being, putting you as our client first and really truly partnering with you is important. Having that non-judgmental attitude, understanding that everyone comes from different circumstances. Everyone comes from, different backgrounds. They have different needs in their lives, and honoring that in a compassionate way is truly important. It's crucial to building a trusting relationship and a workable relationship that's going to benefit you the most. You should absolutely be expecting lots and lots of encouragement. Okay, encouragement, support, and like I mentioned before, a variety of suggestions and options so that the organizer can help you find a way to maximize the functionality of your space in a way that works for you, not necessarily in the way that that organizer thinks that you should do it. Okay, I've talked about that on plenty of episodes. I am going to be, here's kind of my next point, be prepared for lots and lots of questions because I know I'm going to be asking you lots of questions. Because if we've never met before, if we've never worked together before, even if we have, I'm going to be asking you things and I'm going to be listening very carefully. Not only am I listening to you, but I'm going to be observing and looking around your space to get a feel for what might work best for you. Not just what kind of space are we working with, what kinds of supplies do we have on hand that we can work with, but what ways can I make your space the most functional for you? It's all about creating this foundation for you, this foundation of organized living that's supportive and that helps you be able to step into living, loving, and enjoying the pieces of your life that you truly want to be giving your attention to. So, in that idea of asking you lots of questions and being a really good listener, seeing, maybe if you're a stuff in or a stuff out person, we do have a previous episode that talks a little bit about that. So you can go back in the Declutter 360 podcast archives and find that one. But your organizer may also ask to see other spaces within your home. They might ask you for a full home tour. Even if you are really just wanting to focus on this one specific area, it can be really helpful. And so your organizer should be kind of looking around at other spaces in your home, asking you things like, what works well for you in your home organizationally? What helps, what kind of things have you put into other areas of your home that have helped the functionality? What works well for you? What doesn't work well for you in your home? Where do you feel like there's some friction existing in your home? These are the kinds of conversations that I'm having with clients, that I'm asking my clients to make sure that I have an understanding of how I can best support and help you. My goodness, I know that was a lot. I tend to talk quick, but I have a lot to say and a lot to share. And I want you to be able to take advantage of the amazing resource that is at your disposal in a professional organizer. If you're in the St. Louis, Missouri area, you can reach out to me specifically and I can help connect you. If you're not in the St. Louis area and you're looking for an organizer in your space, you can still reach out to me and I can absolutely help you find a quality professional organizer in your area. I definitely have a connection with thousands of organizers across the country as, a member and a certified home organizer with the American Society of Professional Organizers. And there are organizers, like I said, across the country who are waiting to support and help you create that foundation for organized, functional living. Oh, my friend, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So definitely worth your time, worth taking a look at. Give this one another listen if you need it, and come back and join me next week for another episode of the Declutter 360 podcast.